Right. Within your cluster, go ahead and type kubectl and then API dash and then resources. So you've seen this throughout this course. And in here, we have basically every single object that Kubernetes has to offer right here. So bindings, component status, config maps, endpoints, nodes, namespaces, so on and so forth. So here, namespaces, the short name is NS, the API version is v1, and then in here, so namespace is false. Now, and then you can see the kind in here, right? Now, what namespace means is that the resource itself is namespaced. So in here, have a look. So config maps is true. So by default, if we don't specify a namespace, whatever object or whatever config map that we create ends up in the default namespace. The same for endpoints, the same for events, the same for persistent volume claims, same for pods, templates, secrets, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead first and learn how to create namespaces. And I'm going to show you how to place objects in namespaces. So in here, let me just clear the screen and let's create a namespace using imperative approach. So here, type kubectl and then create namespace or NS in here, and then the name of the namespace. So here, let me just say, for example, engineering. There we go. It's done. Let's also create another one. So here, let's say, for example, logging. Let's create another one, for example, for tooling. Let's create another one for, let's say, machine learning. So this is the machine learning team, for example, or ML, right? So ML for machine learning. There we go. And basically you can create as many namespaces you want. So here, let me just basically say kubectl get NS, and now have a look. So we have logging, ML, tooling, and engineering. So these ones we've just created. Now, if you want to delete them, you can say kubectl delete NS, and then let's say logging. There we go. And then let me just basically delete everything. So engineering, and then tooling, and then we had, what else did we have? So we had I think was, so oops, so I'm just being so lazy here using the arrow. So get NS, and we have ML. So let's delete ML in here, and there we go. So what I want to show you is how to create namespaces using declarative approach now. So let's go and open up VS Code together. And in here, let me just make this bigger and then create a new file inside of YAMLs. And then here, I'm going to say namespaces.yaml. And to create a namespace, it's super simple. So here, and I even think that there isn't a snippet for it. So if I type, for example, namespace, you can see that I get no auto completion, but it's very simple. So let's just type together API version. This is v1 in here, and then kind, and kind will be name space, and then metadata, and then name, and there you go. So now I can say, for example, engineering. And it's as simple as this. So API version v1 and then kind namespace is from here. So here, if I say get and then API resources and then scroll up in here, have a look. So basically v1 in here, and then the kind is namespace. So this is what I'm doing. Namespace, the kind, and then API version. So now let's take this and let's now in here add 3 dashes and then paste that. Do the same here. Paste that, and let's create another one. Whoops. So just like that. And now here this will be tooling, for example, and this will be ML for machine learning. This will be logging, and you get the gist. So you can create as many namespaces that you want. Now let me save this and then go back to my terminal, clear the screen, and then say kubectl apply -f and then namespaces.yaml, enter, and there we go. So you can see that all created, kubectl get ns, and there we go. Next, let me show you how to place objects inside of namespaces.